The digital clock on my screen ticked over to 2:17 a.m., the graveyard shift, a time when the city holds its breath, and every call feels like it's being whispered from the shadows. I'm Sarah, and for the last 8 years I've been the voice on the other end of the line, the calm in someone else's storm. Most nights are a predictable mix of noise complaints and minor medicals. But some nights you get a call that freezes the blood in your veins. This was one of those nights. The line chirped, and I answered with the practiced, steady tone we're all trained to use. 911, what is your emergency? Silence. Not the dead silence of a dropped call, but a heavy electric silence. I could hear something faint, a rhythmic, labored sound. Breathing. Just breathing. Hello? This is 911. Is anyone there? The breathing continued, heavy and ragged, like someone had just run a marathon. But there was something else underneath it. A thin, almost inaudible whimper, cut short each time. My instincts, honed by thousands of calls, screamed that this wasn't a prank. This was real. Ma'am, sir, if you can hear me, I need you to know I'm here. Can you make any noise if you're in danger? Tap the phone, cough, anything. The ragged breathing hitched, followed by a sharp intake of air, almost like a gasp that was being swallowed. My fingers flew across the keyboard, tracing the call. The GPS signal was weak, bouncing between a few addresses in a dense residential block on the west side. An old neighborhood with houses packed tightly together. Okay, I'm trying to find you. My system is showing you're on Elm Street. Is that correct? Just breathe if that's right. The breathing pattern didn't change. It was a constant, desperate rhythm. Then I heard it. A new sound. A floorboard creaking in the background. It was slow, deliberate. My heart hammered against my ribs. There was someone else in that room. The caller wasn't alone. And the slow, measured sound of those footsteps told me they weren't a friend. Okay, I whispered into the headset, my voice now just for the person on the line. I understand. You can't talk. There's someone with you. A soft, wet sound came through the phone. A muffled sob quickly stifled. Confirmation. Help is on the way. I'm sending officers to your location now, but I need you to help me narrow it down. I have 3 possible addresses. I'm going to list them. When I say the right one, I need you to try and make a sound. Anything at all? I took a deep breath. This was a long shot, but it was all I had. Is it 412 Elm Street? Silence, just the strained breathing. Is it 414 Elm Street? The creaking in the background stopped. The silence that followed was terrifying. Then a faint click. Almost imperceptible, but it was there. A sound like a fingernail tapping against the phone's plastic casing. Just once. 414 Elm Street. Got it. Officers are en route. They're just a few minutes out. Stay on the line with me. Don't hang up. My hands were shaking as I typed the updated address, flagging it as a high priority. Possible home invasion in progress. Silent caller. I relayed the information to dispatch. Unknown assailant. Caller unable to speak. High probability of immediate danger. Every officer in the vicinity was rerouted. The breathing on the line became more frantic, interspersed with those choked-back whimpers. The floorboards creaked again, closer this time. A low voice murmured something from the background, too indistinct to make out the words, but the tone was menacing, cold. My own breath caught in my throat. I felt like I was in that dark room with her. I had to keep her grounded, keep her connected to me. They're almost there, I said, trying to project a confidence I didn't feel. "Just hold on, you're doing so well. Just keep breathing. I'm right here with you." Another sound broke the tension. A sharp crack like wood splintering. My mind raced. A door? A piece of furniture? It was followed by a muffled cry, quickly silenced. The intruder was getting aggressive. The low voice spoke again, clearer this time. "Where is it?" it rasped. My blood ran cold. This was a robbery. He was looking for something. The caller let out a tiny, desperate whimper. "I don't know," she whispered, her voice a fragile, broken thing. It was the first time she had spoken. Hearing her voice so full of terror made it all the more real. She wasn't just a pattern of breathing on a phone line. She was a real person facing a real monster. "He's talking," I typed rapidly into the dispatch notes. "Male suspect, demanding to know where something is." The officers radioed back. 2 minutes out. 2 minutes felt like an eternity. The man's voice rose in anger. "Don't lie to me." There was a thud, and the woman cried out in pain. My protective instincts surged. I wanted to scream through the phone, to tell him to leave her alone, but I knew that could get her killed. I had to remain the invisible lifeline. "They're turning onto your street now," I said, my voice low and urgent. "Can you see the flashing lights? They're almost at your door." I was hoping he would hear me, that the knowledge of the police arriving would be enough to make him run. A crash of glass shattering echoed through the phone. The man swore loudly. He must have seen the police cars. "Stay where you are." He yelled, no longer at the woman, but towards the sound of the approaching sirens. I heard footsteps running this time away from the phone. Then the sound of a back door slamming shut. The woman on the line started sobbing deep, gut-wrenching sobs of terror and relief. "He's gone," she cried. "He's gone. The officers are at your front door," I said, my own voice trembling slightly. "Can you get to them? Can you let them in?" "Yes," she whispered between sobs. I stayed on the line, listening to her shaky footsteps as she moved through the house. I heard the lock on the front door click open, and then the muffled but reassuring sound of the officers' voices. "Ma'am, we're with the police. Are you okay?" I listened for another moment as she told them she was alone now, that he had run out the back. Only then did I allow myself to disconnect. My hands were slick with sweat. I leaned back in my chair, my heart still pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. The adrenaline started to fade, replaced by a profound sense of exhaustion. I took a sip of cold coffee from the mug on my desk, the bitter taste grounding me. Later that night, we got the update. They'd caught him, a known burglar, hiding in the backyard of a house 2 streets over. The woman was shaken, bruised, but physically okay. He had broken in while she was asleep. She had woken up, seen him standing in her bedroom doorway, and had just enough presence of mind to grab her phone from the nightstand and dial 911, hiding it under her blanket. She never said a word, but her breathing, her fear, her single, desperate tap, it had been enough. It had been her voice. Some calls you forget the moment you hang up. They blur into the endless hum of the city at night. But some calls stay with you. They become a part of you. The call from 414 Elm Street was one of those. It was a reminder that sometimes the most important things are communicated without a single word. It's a story about the primal, powerful language of fear and the instinct to survive. And it's a story about the invisible thread that connects us all in our darkest moments. A connection that can sometimes be as simple and as vital as the sound of someone breathing on the other end of the line. Thank you for listening. Stay safe out there, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the front lines.